What's good, sexy YouTubers? It's your favorite Captain back here again, and you're gonna notice today, for once, I have a hand cam in front of me with a secret, mysterious package. This is now the start of episode number 1 of my new YouTube series, or my new series that I've been super excited. I've been waiting for weeks to do this. This is absolutely incredible. So to get to be here with everybody and do this and kind of show this off a little bit, this is going to be exceptionally fun, I think. I'm going to have a lot of fun doing this. And what we've got in front of me today, what we see in this mysterious package, is a little something that I bought, because I've been buying a lot of stuff, but I've been buying a lot of stuff for my own personal just collection, just to have it. I haven't been buying a whole lot to flip it, to sell it, to do anything with it, and today that's going to change with this mysterious package in front of me. So this little series, before I get into this, what I wanted to do basically was, I wanted to talk, or not talk, but do a little something a little new, a little, little it's out of the norm. People have seen opening, I just opened these, absolutely terrible, right? Opening channels. People have investment channels, market watchers, things like that. I watch all of it. I love all of it, but I've never seen anything like this. And basically my plan is, and I don't even know what to call this series yet. I was thinking Rags to Riches. Maybe I'll stick with that. If you have any ideas, throw it down in the comments below. But basically, here's my thought processes. I don't want to just go on eBay and just buy, let's say, for example, a card, flip it for a few bucks, and well, away we go. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not only it's not only a competitive game. It's not just a playing card game that you can go out and play and, and be competitive with. That's something that still interests me. I still like watching it. I'm still into that. I don't do a lot of it myself, although I might have to make another series someday about that, but we're not about that today. But the other part of Yu-Gi-Oh! That sometimes gets left behind when we talk about the competitive and the ban list and this and that is the collector's part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Not only is this a competitive card game, there's a collector's part of that too. People collect cards. People get things to hold on to cherish, to put into binders, put into things, and actually say, okay, I own this. This is me. This is what I've got, right? This is what I put my hard-earned money, my tears, everything into. So today, we're going to talk about the collection aspect of things. And kind of what ended up happening or what I ran into. So, let's get a little bit of story. I'm going to jump over to, 1 second here, if I know what I'm doing. Alright, into this here. Let's drop over a scene. So, here's a little bit of context. I was doing my usual Yu-Gi-Oh! Browsing, my general buying, selling, collecting, doing whatever. Just that's what I do on a daily basis. Like I said, I do this in an incredible amount. It is a side hustle for me. Buying, selling Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really fun. I've started doing this for, I've been doing this for months. I've made enough money to help make a few things happen in my life. And I couldn't help but notice this when I stumbled upon this. And I think this was just in the, it wasn't even an auction, I don't think. It was like a for sale listing. Ancient Guardians Near Complete Set. I've never owned a complete set of Yu-Gi-Oh! In my life. I've never had a full set where I've had cards number 1 to, whatever. I've always had pieces, I always had little things, I always, collect, cool things like that, but I've never actually had a full, right from beginning to end, set. I wanted that to change. And I saw this, and it said, okay, I was only missing a few cards. So I went down and I did some digging. And I did a bunch of math. And I decided, okay, is a price like $40 for this set even worth buying it? Ancient Guardians, let's get realistic, wasn't that hype of a set. I don't think many people were too excited about Ancient Guardians. People still aren't nowadays. I didn't even look at the set. I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't even touch it. I didn't even think about it. It wasn't even consideration in my brain, even when the set came out, to even buy boxes or do anything with it. I kind of wanted to, but like when you see it, it just, why spend the money on it, right? So, I mean, it's probably considered to be one of the, if not the worst set in Yu-Gi-Oh! History. And things like that can change over time. A lot of things were bad before that all of a sudden nowadays are good. And so I decided, I want to get this. I did some math. I went and looked in to see what the approximate value of the entire set was. I went in and kind of got some pricing. And I wanted to see what a full complete set was worth. Now, the only thing it's hard to really go off of because not a lot of people buy complete sets. There's not a lot of things that you can really base it off of. I did try to look at sold listings for like complete sets. I'll be honest with you, there was one listing from like May, and the entire set without collector's rare sold for about $120. That does not mean that's worth that much nowadays, especially now that the set's been out, now that the hype has kind of dimmed down on it. But I figured maybe, just maybe, if I buy this set on the cheap, I know what its approximate value is, maybe I can flip it for somewhere close to that, or maybe even for the 120, who knows? That is a part to be determined. But what we have in front of me here is, not that, but this, we have a almost complete set. So I went through and I started digging through, and this is what I came through, and lo and behold, in the mail, we have this. I have not touched these cards yet, by the way. I have not touched anything in this envelope yet. I have literally just cut the tape around the seals, so that way I can kind of get in and start pulling some of these cards. Wouldn't it be cool if there was just like a random collector's rare in here the guy didn't realize he had, or something like that? That'd be insane. Alright, let's see if I can dig into these. These are the fun cards to try to get into. Let's pull these out. I don't want to look at this. I don't want to consider this, do anything with this until we get into it. Maybe I could have cut the tape a little bit better. I figured I could just, make my way in. Let's try not to damage the cards, considering I am trying to hopefully sell these for money. That's going to be the next part we get into. Oh my god. Clearly, Captain Gesso needs to learn how to cut his shit, because this is embarrassing. This guy packaged this really well. And when I say really well, I mean he put a lot of tape onto these. There we go. We are now in. Okay. So just as a disclaimer, this is going to be kind of fun for me because I don't think I've ever gotten to actually get into this set or do anything with this set. I don't know if these cards are all in order or what the deal is. So I'm going to go through this really quickly. I'm not going to waste a bunch of time going through it. I just want to skim through the cards, make sure everything looks good. This is like I said, this is fresh from packaging. I literally just got this in the mail the other day, so I've been like aching. It's almost been 2 weeks. The guy that mailed these out actually had a post office shut down for some reason, so I was waiting extra time for this to come in. But I want to go through this set and just have a peek and see what's actually in here. So let's go back to my base. And let's just have a peek-see here and see what we got. I'm not going to go through all of these here. Oh, those are not duplicates? Okay, yeah, I can't read today. That's all it is. So obviously the dude that sent these, he sleeved, it looks like sleeved all the super rares, so that's really cool. I'll definitely appreciate that. So just a shout out to this dude. Yeah, we had the sulfur cord stuff in this set. That's right. Oh, Jesus, I'm really going, like, I'm doing the Ruxin special here. But this is all, like, the one thing I will say about these cards, as not good as, or hardly playable these cards are, the artworks on these are really nice. I would definitely just keep these in a binder just to hold on to them just for their artworks. Because, again, I'm not always into, when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh sets, about how playable they are, how much money they're worth, right? And that's why, I mean, I didn't look at this. I didn't buy a box. There's no point in buying a box if you're not going to get at least a minimum return on investment. If you're going to just Captain Gesso King's Court it every time, it does become not fun because you don't actually have good content to put on YouTube. You don't actually have, you learn lessons is what you realize, and you learn that gambling is bad. Gambling's bad, children. But, we actually have, like, the Ars Arctic stuff is really cool. It's just a shame that these aren't, like, super good playable. Ooh, Ars Arctic Polar. That's actually one of my favorite cards in this set. The Ars... Oh, I should probably put it under the camera. The Ars Arctic Polar. This is probably one of my favorite cards in the set. I think it's such a cool card. I think the reverse synchro summoning these guys have, I think it's just incredible. Serpentreon, like, all weird giant sleeves on these. Not that I'm that bent up about it. It just is what it is. Phenomenaga, obviously, that was a collector's rare in this set. Skullmeister, Light Serpent, Luster Pendulum, Dino Wrestler, and of course all that stuff there, all reprinted in this. Snake Rain, of course, being a trade-in, being playable cards. Pot of Riches being another playable card. Pendulum, West Deck, let's go, right? Good God. Ursardic Big Dipper, that's like such a cool card. It's just a shame that they just didn't play out very well. But if you went through these really quickly, we're going to notice we were still missing 4 cards, 4 particular ultra rares. So what I did is I went in, I did some valuing, I did some pricing. The thing is you can't just trust whatever eBay listing for a card that's out there, because some people do try to override that price by 20 times what it's actually worth. And I realized that there might be some actual value in this. So what ended up happening was I bought that, and we're going to go in here and we're going to drop back. And I did some searching, and I did some bidding, and I did some offering, and I just tried to get myself as much under market price as I possibly could. So the cards we were missing were, first and foremost, Ursa Arctic Grand Chariot. Ended up getting that for $4.50 with shipping. That is incredible for an ultra rare, especially for one that this one's been bobbing, I think on eBay in price, like anywhere from $6 to $8. I don't think it's worth that much, but we did manage to get a hold of it. That actually came in the mail before my entire collection, so that now could be part of my 1 to 62. I think it's 62. What's the last card in here? Offering to the Snake Deity is 60. So yeah, there you go. 0 to 60. So yeah, so decided to get that. So that was one that we got. Next one, of course, is these guys here. These three guys actually came from the same seller. I really tried to get this guy down in price. This guy still was the best option I had for buying these. I don't think I got these too far under market price. We have Amenesia, the Ogdoadic Queen. We have Aron, the Ogdoadic King, as well that I've got here. And we have Ogdoabyss, the Ogdoadic Overlord. 3 of the missing parts to this almost complete set. I ended up buying them again, not for terrible prices. $5.90, $7.50. Everything was free shipping on these. So oh, sorry, that one was a little bit pricier. This is the most, like, yeah, I paid a little more than I wanted to, but I don't think I did terrible considering actual market value, considering TCG player prices, and considering that I'm in Canada, and getting things like TCG cards in Canada is not super easy. TCG player, unfortunately, is a great reference tool, but it is not a great website to actually get cards from, because first of all, I don't get the same amount of listings, I don't get the same amount of options, I don't get the same pricing Americans typically have, and I also don't get the convenience of shipping in terms of speed. Sometimes you wait weeks, months for these cards to come in. So I did a lot of searching around online, I did a lot of searching around at different card shops, at different places. I really dug deep to try to fill this one out. eBay was the best way I could come up with the rest of these cards. I'm not disappointed with what I paid for. I know I probably, if I really went in and spent a bunch of time, I could have done a lot better. But I really wanted to get this done. I really wanted to make this episode, and I really wanted to try to, you know, kind of show this stuff off, right? So I've got now a complete collection. Probably I'll fix that up later and maybe bind it or re-sleeve it or whatever. But now we've got a complete collection of Ancient Guardians, and this is a milestone for me. This is huge. This is the first time I've ever owned a complete set from beginning to end in Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, I'm a giant collector, so things like that, even when the set's not good, still has a lot of value to me, inherently. So let's talk about the actual money portion of it, because again, I want to bring this back to the actual, you know, buy and selling. The whole point of buying this and doing this was to have that full collection, to say I have that milestone, but I also do want to sell these. So I did a bit of logistics in terms of pricing. Now, you're going to get the absolute greatest video editing here, the absolute greatest. Yeah, I'm kidding. This is going to be absolutely terrible. Unfortunately, my computer is not very good at handling this. I am going to have to edit and export this with the hand cam, but I really don't want to spend a whole lot more time into trying to make this a lot more fancier than it needs to be. So let's get down to the logistics. Let's get down to the actual numbers and what we consider what we might be able to do with this set. So everything all said and done, with every dollar I spent, including the entire partial set plus the missing pieces, I spent a total of $67.90. So with eBay fees, with eBay's everything else, and I might try to sell this not on eBay as well. I will see. Obviously, Instagram's a good spot to look. I've got a few groups online that I can look at, so we can look at that. But if we're considering selling on eBay, because I will list everything on eBay, with eBay fees and everything all brought into effect, to break even, I would actually have to sell this at $79.55. That's just to break absolute clink dead even without anything else. And not considering shipping. Shipping we'll consider as a different. I might want to track this stuff. I might want to sell this. I'm not sure how I want to ship that, but I'm going to consider how I want to decide to want to ship that. If I want to make 25% is my absolute basic amount of margin that I will make on this. I would have to sell this set at, I think it's about $99.51. I round out to about $100. So I would have to sell this entire set for about $100 flat to make a little bit of margin on that. What does the potential at? So when I looked at the full set sold on eBay, it sold for about $120. So I'm going to base it off of that, right? I may not make that, but at least we list high, we can bring it down when it comes to offers, right? $120 seems to be what this set sells at. So if I sell this at $120, once I consider my eBay fees, because there's fees to sell this stuff on eBay, at $120, I'm making a natural profit of $34.70, or about 51% in margin, which is pretty good. Am I going to get that? That is to be determined. Obviously, I haven't sold it yet, because you can see that it all sits in front of me. But something like this is just super incredible. I have now this entire set from front to back. And the crazy part is I almost actually got a collector's rare Polari to actually add to the set to sell on top of that. But unfortunately, I didn't win the bid on it, and it actually sold for extremely cheap. I'm really disappointed in myself. Let's bring this camera down here a little bit further. So, the point of this is now, this is going to be a series that I want to go through. We'll keep it brief in my 15 minutes here. But this is a little series I want to do, where I actually want to collect stuff. I want to see how far under market I can get this stuff, or at least eBay market prices, or even just general. I really want to see if I can dig down and go to work, because I could go into a set, for example, that I want to collect a few cards off of, and I could just go buy the absolute lowest shitty conditions possible for bare minimum price, right? But that's not the point of what I want to do. So I do have one rule for this series that I'm doing, these episodes that I'm doing, and my rule is going to be condition has to be light play or better. Preferably near mint, but light play or better. If the cards I get, I'm ordering, especially older stuff, I'm building sets and building things, you kind of have to, budge a little bit sometimes when it comes to what you can handle. I will buy moderate play or heavy play if the price is absolutely beautiful on a card. If I have to really shag this down, I'm really, if a card's worth, let's say, for example, and even in moderate play $20, and I'm getting it at $5, well, yeah, I'm going to do that to complete a set. It just is what it is. But the point is all cards I want to have in good condition. I want to buy these in good condition. I personally, for my own personal collections, I'm not picky about collections. But when it comes to buying and selling, I do try to get the best that I can, best bang for the buck, right? There's more value in those higher value cards. And it's just nice when I'm trying to do a full collection that I'm not trying to, condition everyone out, if you will. So next episode, let's go for a little bit of a spoiler here. What do we have coming up next? What do we have going through number next? And the next thing I'm not going to do is a complete booster set from beginning to finish, because they do tend to get kind of pricey if they're half decent. But here is a little cheat sneak peek behind the scenes of what I've been doing. So episode 2, we're going to be looking at the 2004 Collector's Tin promos. Don't mind that, of course. But the 2004 Collector's Tin promos. I really want to look at the set because, first of all, they're on a budget, because this is a budget Yu-Gi-Oh channel. I'm not about buying all the like super expensive stuff. On a budget, these are really easy cards to buy. Nothing super terribly expensive. But they're also very old cards that have a lot of potential, and there are a lot of cards that really kind of bring me back to my days, so it's something that's doable, it's collectible, it's gettable, but it also has a little bit of value behind that too. So anyways, I'm not going to spoil that much further. We'll talk about it in episode 2. I will update if I ever do sell or whatever in these things. We're going to go from there. This is episode 1. Grab your popcorn, sit back, enjoy, have a good day. Captain Gesso, your captain, has had a good one. See ya.